Sup boys, Ludo here, and quick in-depth 12.1 patch guide, everything. Let's get going. So, first things first, you're gonna accept the quest in the Silver Moon for the new zone, right? Then, before we go on, we're gonna take two quests for the sparks. One is here, near the bank, right? Spark of Tides. Okay. Near the bank here. The second one is in the PvP zone. Let's go quickly there. Now, for the second one in the PvP zone, you just need to collect sparks in the war mode. You don't really need, I mean, you can PvP, but you don't need to. It's called sparks of this one. So, except that, you can collect a war chest, you can, kill rares, world quests, all that works. Now, next, you're gonna complete chapter 1 fully and chapter 2 half. Half of it once you get to the bridge, then you can fly to the zone. Coiled Isle zone. Let's get there. So once you unlock the isle and flew from Zulaman, the quickest actually way to get here, instead of, if you accidentally hardstone back to Silvermoon or something, is go housing and go here, okay, in the city hall, and there's a portal here. Boom. Very quick. Very nice. You don't need to fly there anymore, okay? And you don't need to put Hearthstone there. So very good, very nice trick to do that. Now we are in the zone and we can maximally complete 4 chapters now, okay? Once we hit the last chapter, we get the quest to do the new dungeon, Altar of Fangs, and we get a Toxic Tour. Now, after the dungeon, we come here and we can unlock world quests, okay? So we can do that first, boom. We unlocked world quests. And now we're gonna go down there. Okay, we are in the new zone, Walls of Atal'Utek, and there are only 2 very important things you need to know here. This quest, I mentioned it already, gives a Venom Curse Fragment. Combining 2 of these gives you 292 item level. Now, you get one from the quest, the second one comes from the, let's call him the boss of the zone. So you can get one 292 very easily, very easily. Plus, this gives you a Troll Hunter's Bounty, which can give you a 305 item level in the Delve, but we'll get more into that later. Now, that's pretty much the most important part of the zone. Now let's get into more details of the zone. So this zone has, let's call them 4 events, okay? Small event called Patrol, very short, very quick, just yields some coins, corrosive coins. We'll talk about that. Then we have the Strike, which is we have to kill some elite mobs a little bit harder, a little bit longer. Then we have the third, Incursion. This is it, lasts 10 minutes. And after we complete the Incursion, now this is, you can't do this alone. Like you need, everyone needs to do something to make it in time, right? And after the Incursion is completed successfully, is the 4th event, which is the boss we just talked about. So for this quest, we need to complete all 4. Patrol, Strike, Incursion, and slay an ancient foe. That's the 4th part, right? So that will be all 4 events of the zone. Now, we got a currency in the zone, as I said, coins. Now, the coins can be spent on vendors for, transmog, mounts, stuff like that. Housing items. But here is the, let's call it talent tree of the zone. Altar of Corrosion. Boom. And you know how it is, you get some passive stats. Here you can get some help from like summoned pets. Here is like left tree is like economy tree. You get more coins, stuff like that. And then we have here some relics that are actually not, you don't buy them with these corrosion coins. You need to find them. So these 4 you need to find. All of these are bought with coins, and in total you need 95, 55k, something like that, around 100k. Around 100k. Let's round it up to 100k. I'm not sure of the number anymore, but let's round it up to 100k. Plus, you need, I think, few of them come from Renown as well. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Now, is this really crucial? No, it's pretty, whatever. Just kind of boosts you in the zone, nothing else. It's only for this zone, right? So not a big deal. Now the vendors, as I said, you can, once you complete the talent tree, you can exchange for transmog and stuff like that. Now, One nice thing here is you see this nice mount, pretty cool. You can actually get this mount by, you know, completing daily quests here. Like you need to complete 5-6 quests every day, and you get a mount. It's pretty cool. Okay, so let's complete this. So here we are killing the ancient foe now. As I was saying, foes give you coins only. Strikes give you 5 veteran crests, so you can upgrade your gear with that, plus coins. Incursion gives you 10 veteran crests, okay, plus more coins, obviously, right? And now we will see what the ancient foe gives. He should give 10 champion crests, okay, and 1 fragment. Boom. There we go. We got a fragment. And champion crests, 10 of them. There we go. So by combining 2 of these, I got my 292 weapon, and we pretty much covered everything in the zone. Let's go to the delves. First, you should come here in Silvermoon, talk to Valera and get a quest to unlock 3 of her new abilities in Season 2. Of course, for some reason, she's bugged for me. Okay guys, we are in front of the new delve, Ring of Glory. We have to the south, Gnarldal and Manifold Deeps, the Nemesis one, to the north, the question mark one, right? Now we enter the tier 8. I'm going with 265 item level, which is pretty damn low, like almost 30 below the recommended. So it's definitely doable, right? It's not gonna be super easy, but it's definitely doable. Something, you know. So no worries if you're low gear. Now, what I want to say is why we're doing tier 8. We're doing tier 8 because of that item we got from the last zone, Throw Hunter Bounty. We can make our delve bountiful, right? At the end. We're gonna use this item at the end of the delve, and the delve should be tier 8 or above. It doesn't matter if it's tier 8 or 11, it's gonna be the same item level. We're gonna get 305 item level. Random item, right? Now, why we're not going above is because the on the first week only, chests from the delves are capped to 272. So adventure 3 out of 6 item level, 272. So there's really no point of, you know, doing them. Now, since we have nothing to do, we might as well get to tier 11, just for the future, right? So you don't waste time. But it's not needed. You're not gonna gain anything from it, except, you know, saving time in the future. So, just wanna say that. Now, we also have to think about the vault, right? The world row we get from Prey and from the delves. If we want to get the best reward, we have to complete 8 delves at 6 or above. Okay, so it's also capped at 298 item level. So if we want to get the best, we just do 8 delves at 6 or above. Very simple. Now, one more important thing, no bountiful delves this week, only the first week. From the second week, once the season starts, is coming back. Okay, now for those guys that don't know, for bountiful delves, we need coffer key shards, 100 of them, and then they combined into a key which opens the chest. Right, very simple. Now, you get those from, you know, weeklies, praise, rares, world quests, or bosses, whatever. So you get those easily. But, you know, just as general knowledge. Now, the highest item level we can get from a normal delve, like tier 11, is 298. With the bountiful or the great vault, we can get a 305. That's the max we can get from the delves, right? Now, I want to talk about the Nemesis delves, the question marks delve that went and fall, right? We can do the question mark 1, only 1 question mark. This week, first week, it, you know, gives us a cloak, a toy, plus 30 hero crests. Pretty decent. Now, the requirement to unlock it is you need to complete a tier 7 delve or above. Okay? Now, the question mark, 2 question marks, you know, the highest delve, unlocks if you complete tier 10 or above, and we get a mount, a title, Plus you get a feat of strength if you complete it in the first week. So next week, the season starts, there's a feat of strength that you can accomplish if you kill the boss in that first week. And we'll be doing that, okay? I just need to gear up. So watch that out, we'll be doing a guide for that. Now, since we said that for the World Great Vault, we can do also Praise, the first week we can only do Normal and Heroic. The Nightmare is off the menu, so we can only do Normal Praise, which yield 266 item level, and Hard, which gives a Veteran gear, 279. Okay? Nightmare, we can't yet, only starts next week. But usually Nightmare gives 292 Champion gear, okay? These gears are all upgradable, but we're gonna talk in detail about that a little bit later. Okay, so we're in front of that Nemesis Delve, and let's quickly talk about dungeons. So currently we have only Heroics, 276 item level, and Mythic Zeros, okay, which drop 292. Now the trick with Mythic Zeros currently is their weekly lockout. Okay, they're not daily lockout, like they will be in a week, or usually how they are. Now they're weekly, so you can do them only once this week per character, right? So it's gonna be a little bit of luck, but do them all because of the Mythic Vault, right? We're gonna talk about Vault a little bit later in depth. But yeah, do them all. Now, Mythic Plus opens next week and starts with the 295 item level, right? And finishes with 311 at Mythic 10 Plus. Okay, I'm in front of the lairs, the new thing, this patch, mini raid. As you can see, here's the entrance, we just walk in, we select the difficulty world. This is the only difficulty available first week. Next week we'll get all difficulties, but for the first week we just get world. Okay, the funny thing about lairs is it does count as a raid in the vault. But since the vault needs 2 bosses to be killed, well, doesn't really matter if we kill this boss for the vault, right? Now the item level it drops is 279. The item level is the same as in regular raid, but this is kinda easier than the regular raid. As you can see, we're doing it with 9 people, 1 tank, 1 healer, and it's gonna be easy, okay? Now, the item level drop for normal next week is gonna be 292, for heroic 305, for mythic 318. Same gonna go for the raid, exactly the same, okay? Now for the raid, first week we have nothing. The second week, when the season starts, we get all difficulties, normal, heroic and mythic. Plus we get, looking for raid, wing 1, okay? Now week after that we get wing 2 plus story mode, and then week after that we get wing 3, right? So the only difference with the raid is that the last 2 bosses on mythic yield the highest item level in the game, 344. Right? So that's the only difference from the lairs, and the lairs is only 1 boss. Okay, here we are in front of the vault, and as we can see, raid 1 out of 2. We killed the boss, but we can't claim anything this week from the raid. Nothing, impossible. But for the dungeon we can. We just get 8 dungeons, mythic zeros, and we can get an item 302. That's capped, but that's best we got. Now for the world, it's gonna be capped again at 298, and for that we need to do 8 delves at tier 6 or above. That's good enough, doesn't need to be any better than that, okay? So that's for the week 1. Now the only other thing we need to know for the week 1 is that we can actually get a tier piece and a socket, but not a bonus roll, okay? So every other week, we can get maximum item level. From the World Vault, we can get a 305. That's going to be a Nightmare Prey or a tier 8 to 11 delve. For the Dungeon Vault, it's going to be 318, and that's going to be Mythic 10 or above. Okay, so this is the first range where the Mythic items, this is the highest range for dungeons. Now for the Raid Vault, we have a little bit different this time, because normal is going to get 305, and heroic is going to give 318, the same as mythic 10. So heroic is going to be equal to the highest dungeon vault. So we want to be doing raids in the future, right? And the mythic vault is going to give 334. while the last two bosses are gonna give 344 in the vault, right? So pretty big. And we can see this in this post from Reddit, from this chart. I'm gonna link it, so you can check it out for yourself. Credit to the guy who made it. Very nice, very cool, very readable. Okay guys, and the final thing we need to explain is gearing crests. Okay, I'm gonna try to simplify it as much as can, and we're gonna use this table that it's great for that. So as we can see, item levels are here. Then we have the names here: adventure, meaning, and it's colored. Beautiful, right? Adventure starts at 266 item level. It can be upgraded 6 times, right? You can see the colors, 6 blues. So it starts at 266, then gets upgraded to 269 to 272, and ends at 282. That will be the max upgrade, 6 out of 6, right? Also meaning that adventure, actually the highest rank of adventure is 3 item levels higher than the starting point of veteran. And that's gonna be the pattern through the whole this thing, right? So veteran starting at 279, ending at 285. Champion starting at 292, ending at 308. Hero starting at 305, ending at 321. And Mythic starting at 318, ending at 344. Now, this is very important. Just learn this. This is pretty easy to learn, I think. Now we got crafted equipment as well. Now, when we want to have specific gear, we can craft it with stats we want. For example, we want haste mastery. We can craft it, but we also need to add crests. In the same way, we need to have crests to upgrade this gear, to the next level, Here we can upgrade, we can go to the last level, but we need to add all crests. Now, the question is, what are crests? Crests are the currency used to upgrade your gear, and they're gonna have the same name as the gear. So adventure gear is gonna have adventure crests. Okay, so mythic gear is gonna have mythic crests. The only question is, how do we get those crests? So for the adventure, it's gonna be very simple. You're gonna find them and literally anywhere. It's gonna be like world quests, tier delve 0, the easiest stuff, literally the easiest stuff you can imagine. The veteran is gonna be slightly harder, normal stuff like those harder world quests we had in the poison zone, like a delve tier 4. Nothing crazy, like a heroic dungeon, right? Now champion, we start, with higher tier delves here. We start with mythic zeros, mythic 1, mythic 2, mythic 3, normal raid, stuff like that. For the hero stuff, we're gonna have a heroic dungeon. We're gonna have mythic 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And for the mythic ones, we're gonna have mythic raid. We're gonna have mythic 9+ dungeons. Okay? Now for the PvP this week, we have nothing. We can only honor cap to 15k, and that's it. Now, next week the gear is coming 331 item level, both on the honor and war mode gear. Okay, both of them in the PvP, of course. Now, conquest is gonna be 344. Okay, so decently higher. But I'm gonna be doing a video next week about that. Now, what I want to say about PvP though is you can't queue blitz. You can pretty much just queue, like, look at this, 312, so it's bugged. You can queue shuffle, but I've queued shuffle, and as you've seen, I went 3-0. And for 3-0, I gained 0 points. I did go 4-2 on Fury, and I lost like 50 or 60 points. So the MMR has been reset already, and your rating hasn't been. So whatever score you, like if you're high rated, whatever score you have, you're gonna lose points. Even if you go 6-0, you're gonna lose points. So, it's kind of bugged. Now, you can try it out just for fun, because your stats will be upgraded to 310 item level in arena. But funnily, I tried out training grounds, and your stats get upgraded to 340 item level, and you have like 1.2 million HP. It's pretty fucking crazy. Try it out. It's really nice. And guys, hopefully you learned something from the video. Hopefully I helped you. I tried to simplify it as much as I could. And that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, drop the like, drop the sub, and see you in the next one. Peace out.